Welcome to Bulgaria. In 1974, on a windswept ridge at Buzludzha, a concrete UFO rose from the rock, an era's ambition frozen in time, still watching over valleys where older rites refused to fade. From the Rhodope's echoing gorges to a dawn-lit valley that turns petals into liquid gold, this journey reveals a country that keeps its secrets in plain sight. Stay with us because the story of Bulgaria doesn't just belong to the past, it's alive beneath your feet. Here, Europe feels ancient and immediate, at once stone fortresses clinging to cliffs, Black Sea horizons stretching beyond sight, and villages where tradition sets the rhythm of life. Thracian echoes surface in artifacts of dazzling precision, while the Rhodopes wrap legends around misty peaks and deep caves. Sofia hums with modern energy. Plovdiv threads art, festivals, and Roman bones into a living cityscape. And in the Rose Valley, fields open at first light, turning a brief bloom into the world's most coveted essence. This is Bulgaria layered, resilient, and ready to surprise you at every turn. Before we dive into Bulgaria's essentials, a quick challenge for you. Which script became an official working alphabet of the European Union after Bulgaria joined in 2007? Tell us your answer in the comments. Great. Now, if you love journeys that uncover rare stories and living heritage, if unique, wonder-filled travel stories speak to you, tap like and subscribe. It's completely free for you, but it powers our work, helps us reach more curious travelers, and keeps these deep dive films coming. Share your next destination wish in the comments. Your ideas genuinely shape what we explore next. All right, what truly sets Bulgaria apart? Geography and location. Southeastern Europe's mosaic. The Balkan and Rhodope ranges, the Pirin Heights, and a long Black Sea coastline. Diverse biomes pack short distances, alpine trails, karst caves, river valleys, and warm shores in one compact map. Culture and traditions. Winter masks thunder through villages as kukeri ward off the old year's shadows. In summer, Nestinari fire dancers step to ancient rhythms. On 1st March, red and white Martenitsa cords appear on wrists and trees, a wish for health woven into daily life. Food and cuisine. Banitsa's flaky layers, Shopska salad's crisp simplicity, and tangy yogurt define everyday comfort. Regional grills, slow-cooked stews, and honeyed pastries mirror the country's mountain-to-sea abundance. History and heritage. Thracian goldwork and tombs testify to a refined ancient world. Roman roads and cliff-top strongholds chart the empires that followed. UNESCO-listed sites from Pirin National Park to storied old towns preserve nature and memory side by side. Economy and jobs. Tourism, agriculture, and a fast-growing IT/outsourcing scene drive modern opportunity. The Rose Valley's premium essential oils anchor a niche export that punches far above its size. Unique customs. Name days often rival birthdays, and spring brings Baba Marta greetings with token charms for luck. Local festivals bind craft, costume, and music community first, spectacle second. Now that we've met Bulgaria's spirit, its land, living traditions, and timeless craft, let's set out for the places that turn this story into breathtaking scenes. From cliff-carved strongholds to sea-bright towns and high-country trails, our route begins. Belogradchik Rocks, Vidin. A skyline of rust-red stone rises above a small hillside town, where geology and folklore intertwine. Along the western Balkan mountains, wind, rain, and time carved pinnacles, needles, and arches into silhouettes that locals compare to guardians and animals. At their core stands Kaledo, the Belogradchik Fortress, its walls fused to cliffs that once served as natural ramparts for Roman, medieval, and later defenders. From the terraces, views sweep over oak forests, vineyard patches, and the distant Danube plain, a panorama that glows warm at sunset. Marked trails thread between the towers, with waypoints that reveal new angles at every turn. Hikers can choose short family-friendly circuits or half-day routes that climb to airy lookouts. Licensed local guides add stories that bring the rocks to life. Designated climbing sectors host bolted routes on stable faces, while photographers prize the soft spring light and autumn colors. Close by, Magura Cave extends the timeline with prehistoric paintings and cool chambers that echo with drops of mineral water. Belogradchik's culture is hands-on and welcoming. Market stalls display wood carving, woven wool, and pottery rooted in Northwest Bulgarian tradition. Cafes plate oven-warm banitsa, shopska salad, and yogurt-based specialties. Along the Danube corridor, freshwater fish soups add a regional note. Summer folk gatherings bring gajda bagpipes and line dances to the square, turning evenings into a showcase of costume and craft. Tourism intertwines with small-scale farming, viticulture, and family-run guest houses, keeping livelihoods local. Visitor services include trail information points, small museums, and seasonal festivals that highlight nature and heritage together. Road links from Vidin and the Sofia corridor make access straightforward, yet the town retains a relaxed, close-knit rhythm. Belogradchik Rocks balance spectacle and serenity. Come for the hoodoos and stay for the stories. Here, stone has shaped defensive walls, daily work, and identity, leaving a landscape that feels sculpted for exploration. Koprivshtitsa. A mountain town frozen in color and craft, Koprivshtitsa sits in the Srednja Gora at roughly 1,000 meters, about 110 kilometers east of Sofia. Cobblestone lanes cross little stone bridges, and indigo and ochre facades lean over the street with carved wooden eaves and painted ceilings. Four seasons redraw the palette snow on tiled roofs, spring blossoms in courtyards, gold forests in autumn, and crisp blue summer skies. History breathes here. In April 1876, the first shots and dispatches of the uprising rang out from Koprivshtitsa, sending a message that galvanized a nation. Museum houses preserve letters, uniforms, and printing tools linked to figures like Todor Kableshkov, Lyuben Karavalov, and poet Dimcho Debelyanov. Architecture is the town's signature. Oslikov and Lyutov houses showcase the Bulgarian national revival style with high stone walls, inner gardens, and elaborately painted salons. Workshops demonstrate wood carving, wool weaving, and delicate embroidery, skills passed quietly from home to home. Culture arrives to the rhythm of bagpipes and line dances. Every few years, the National Folklore Festival gathers ensembles from across Bulgaria on meadows above the town voices, costumes, and stories layered like the hills. Year-round, the local Chitalište community reading hall anchors music rehearsals, craft clubs, and storytelling evenings. Food is rustic, fragrant, and close to the land. Bakeries pull banitsa in flaky spirals. Taverns simmer claypot gyvetch with garden vegetables and herbs. Thick yogurt pairs with mountain honey and walnuts, while Shopska salad adds a cool crunch after a day on the lanes. Exploring is beautifully unhurried. Short walking routes climb to viewpoints over tiled rooftops and the Topolnitsa Valley. Longer trails fan into Srednja Gora for cycling, horseback outings, or wildflower photography in late spring. Livelihoods blend small-scale farming, guest houses, and artisan studios. Market days set out wool, wood, and ceramics, beside jars of rose petal preserves from nearby valleys. Koprivshtitsa rewards curiosity come for the museum houses, stay for the living craft, and the mountain air that seems to hold time still. Stone Forest Pobiti Kamani. A sandy plateau west of Varna opens like a mirage. Rising from the dunes, Hundreds of limestone columns stand hollow and weathered, as if a forest turned to stone. Locals call it Pobiti Kamani, the hammered stones, a name that hints at both mystery and force. Geologists trace the pillars to complex processes of cemented sands and limestone dissolution over millions of years. Legends weave their own explanations. Giants, a petrified wedding, a lost grove frozen by time. The columns reach 5 to 7 meters, many ringed and hollow with fragile crusts that sound like drums when tapped. Light and shadow carve faces, animals, and arches that seem to shift as clouds pass. Waymarked paths guide you through clusters like Dikonite and Slenchevo, each with its own patterns and silhouettes. Sunrise and late afternoon are golden hours. Cooler air, long shadows, and gentle color for photography. Life survives in the sand. Steppe flowers cling to pockets of soil. Green lizards dart between stones. Bee-eaters and kestrels ride the thermals above. Please keep to signed trails. The crusted pillars and dune plants are delicate, and conservation is part of the visit. Local guides share both science and folklore, turning a walk into a layered story of earth and imagination. Visitor services are simple but thoughtful. Information boards, marked zones, and small parking areas near the main ensemble. Sturdy shoes and water are wise. Summer heat can be intense by midday. Pair your visit with Varna's cultural stops. The archaeological museum's exhibits illuminate the region's deep timeline. Back in the city, seafront eateries serve black sea fish, terator, chilled yogurt cucumber soup, and fresh breads that carry the taste of the coast. Tourism here supports family businesses in Varna's outskirts, guiding, transport, crafts, and small cafes. Vendors offer carved wood, sand paintings, and stone-inspired souvenirs that echo the pillars' textures. As twilight falls, the stones glow softly, and the plateau grows quiet. Pobiti Kamani is less a single site than a conversation between geology, myth, and light. An open-air gallery sculpted by time. Varna. Varna, the Black Sea's breezy metropolis, blends beach rhythm with deep history and a confident modern pulse. Golden sand arcs along the bay, while boulevards lead inland to museums, gardens, and cafe-lined streets. Mornings start with sea light on the promenade. Afternoons drift into park walks and harbor views where ships glide past. History sits close to the surface. The Roman thermae, among the largest in the Balkans, unfold in brick vaults and courtyards that once steamed with mineral heat. At the Archaeological Museum, the famed Gold of Varna showcases exquisitely worked artifacts that reset timelines of European craftsmanship. Compact galleries add context with ceramics, ornaments, and maritime finds from the long Black Sea trade routes. Nature frames city life. The Sea Garden, a grand coastal park, threads lawns, flower beds, sculptures, and shaded alleys above the shore. Cycling paths, playgrounds, and open-air stages make it a day-long destination for families and performers alike. Northward, beaches step toward Golden Sands Nature Park, where forest trails meet warm water in a classic summer pairing. Food tastes of sun and salt. Harborside kitchens ladle fragrant fish soup. Grills turn out sprat and mackerel. Territor's chilled yogurt cucumber cools a warm noon. Bakeries layer banitsa in flaky spirals, and Shopska salad brings tomatoes, cucumbers, and white brine cheese into crisp balance. Markets pile seasonal fruit, honey, and sunflower seeds beside regional cheeses and rose-flavored sweets from inland valleys. Culture keeps a lively calendar. Varna's summer festivals fill parks and stages with orchestras, dance, and theater, drawing audiences from across Bulgaria. Street musicians thread melodies through evening strolls, while pop-up craft fairs spotlight wood, clay, and woven textiles. Local clubs teach sailing and paddleboarding. Beach courts host pickup volleyball as daylight lingers. Economy and everyday life lean maritime. Port logistics, ship repair, tourism, and a growing IT/services scene anchor jobs for a city of several 100,000. Guest houses and family-run eateries thrive alongside modern hotels, keeping hospitality personal and grounded. In Varna, sea air, layered history, and a generous parkline turn a coastal break into a full conversation with the Black Sea. Nessebar. A narrow causeway leads to a sunlit peninsula, where stone lanes, wooden eaves, and seawalls tell a layered Black Sea story. Waves press gently against old fortifications, while fishing boats and gulls mark the town's timeless rhythm. UNESCO recognition protects the historic core, preserving its brick and stone artistry and distinctive coastal silhouette. History here is compact yet deep. Ancient Thracian roots meet Hellenistic trade and Roman masonry along surviving ramparts. Medieval builders perfected patterned brickwork and ceramic inlays, creating facades that glow at golden hour. Ottoman-era houses rise with overhanging upper floors, their timber frames weathered by salt and wind. Exploring is delightfully on foot. Start at the Causeway Gate, then drift along cobbles to pocket squares lined with craft ateliers. Look for lacework, wood carving, and icon-style painting schools. Heritage expressed through skilled hands, not merely display. Small museums curate local archaeology, maritime finds, and maps of ancient sea routes. The sea shapes daily life and the table. Fisherfolk bring sprat, Black Sea mackerel, and bonito to quayside kitchens for grills and stews. Territor, a chilled blend of yogurt, cucumber, and dill, cools summer afternoons, while freshly baked banitsa anchors breakfast. Honey, rose petal preserves, and sun-ripened figs arrive from inland gardens and valleys. Beaches curve on both flanks of the peninsula. Sheltered coves suit families and sunrise swimmers, with clear water for snorkeling over stone ledges. Kayak and SUP rentals trace the coast, and short boat trips frame the skyline from open water. Evenings bring street musicians, folk steps in the squares, and artisan stalls under lantern light. Tourism sustains much of the economy, balanced by small fishing fleets, crafts, and family guest houses. Seasonal festivals highlight music, costume, and maritime lore, keeping community at the center of a busy calendar. Good links to Burgas and nearby resorts make day trips easy, yet the Old Quarter keeps a calm, lived-in cadence. Nessebar rewards unhurried attention. Follow the textures, brick patterns, timber grain, salt soft stone, and the peninsula reveals a city shaped by trade winds and time. Pomorie. A slender peninsula reaches into the Black Sea, with calm bays on one side and a shimmering salt lake on the other. Just north of Burgas, Pomorie pairs easy seaside days with stories etched by wind, water, and trade. Sunrise gilds long strands of sand, while evenings cool along promenades edged by pines and sea breeze. History runs deep beneath the streets. Founded as ancient and Hyalo, the town grew on salt, fisheries, and maritime exchange. A remarkable Thracian beehive tomb outside the center recalls the skill and symbolism of early builders. Local exhibits trace maps, coins, and tools that chart centuries of coastal life. Nature gives Pomorie its signature. The hypersaline Pomorie Lake is a protected haven for avocets, herons, and migrating flocks. Boardwalks and hides offer quiet birdwatching, with guides explaining seasons, species, and lagoon ecology. Dunes and reed beds frame pockets of wildflowers. Summer light turns the water silver at dusk. Wellness traditions are part of the rhythm. Mineral-rich muds and saline live from the lake support long-standing spa therapies. Balneo centers provide professional treatments, while simple beach mud baths are a laid-back local custom. Visitors come for gentle swims, wading shallows, and easy hours under umbrellas. Days fill easily with activity. Kayaks and SUPs skim the bay, and coastal cycle routes link viewpoints and picnic spots. Short boat trips circle the headland for skyline photos and a breeze-cooled ride. Nearby nature corners host kid-friendly trails and shaded play areas away from midday sun. The table tastes of the coast and fields. Harborside kitchens ladle fisherman's soup, grill black sea sprat and mackerel, and plate crisp shopska salad. Territor, chilled yogurt with cucumber and dill, cools warm afternoons, while Banitsa arrives flaky from the oven. Markets set out sunflower honey, orchard fruit, and rose petal sweets from inland valleys. Economy follows the seasons, yet stays grounded in craft. Tourism, artisanal salt making, inshore fishing, and small farms sustain family businesses year-round. Craft stalls offer wood carving, woven textiles, and sand-toned souvenirs shaped by the lagoon's palette. Burgas Airport and regular buses keep access simple, yet the town holds its unhurried pace. Pomorie's identity is written in salt, light, and patient handiwork. Between sea and lake, the town invites a slower gaze, one that notices birds over the lagoon, footprints in soft sand, and a history still working quietly in the present. Burgas. On Bulgaria's western Black Sea, Burgas opens wide to water and light, framed by 3 coastal lakes. A city of roughly 200,000, it balances a working port with breezy boulevards, parks, and long strands of sand. Sea air and lake winds set an easy rhythm that starts at sunrise on the promenade and carries through golden evenings. History here is maritime and practical. What began as a modest harbor grew into Bulgaria's largest port, with ship repair, logistics yards, and a modern industrial zone. Museums and small galleries map the coastline's trading past, salt works, and crafts that tied Burgas to roots across the Black Sea. Nature is Burgas's quiet advantage. Atanasovsko, Via, Burgas Lake, and Mandrensko form a wetland crown on the Via Pontica migration flyway. Boardwalks and hides host birdwatchers spotting pelicans, herons, and raptors as seasons turn. In summer, salt pans blush pink from microlife, turning work landscapes into living color. Beaches curve along town with gentle, family-friendly shallows. Central and North Beach offer lifeguards, rentals, and easy access to cafes and shade. Kayaks and SUPs skim the bay, while cycling paths stitch together viewpoints, piers, and play areas. The Sea Garden is Burgas's green spine. Shaded alleys, lawns, and sculptures run above the shore, with music stages and pop-up art in warm months. The annual Sand Sculpture Festival turns dunes into a temporary open-air gallery carved by visiting artists. Food leans coastal and fresh. Harborside kitchens ladle fisherman's soup, and grills turn out Black Sea sprat and mackerel with lemon and herbs. Territor, chilled yogurt with cucumber and dill, keeps afternoons cool, while banitsa and shopska salad anchor simple, satisfying meals. Markets pile honey, orchard fruit, and rose petal sweets that connect the city to inland valleys. Work and travel flow easily. Port services, manufacturing, tourism, and a growing IT and services sector anchor jobs across the year. An airport on the edge of town, rail links, and frequent buses make regional trips straightforward and affordable. From Burgas, it's a short hop to Nessebar's storied lanes, Pomorie's Lagoon Light, or Sozopol's Old Quarter, proof that the city is both destination and gateway. Sozopol. On a rocky peninsula south of Burgas, Sozopol folds wooden eaves and stone lanes into a sea-bright mosaic. Ancient Apollonia Pontaica once thrived here, its maritime merchants stitching the town into Black Sea trade routes. Today, fishing boats, galleries, and guest houses share the same breeze, and the skyline holds a calm, time-worn grace. The Old Town is a living gallery of 18th to 19th century wooden houses with overhanging upper floors. Courtyards hide vines and carpenter's benches, and cobblestones carry the soft echo of footfalls after sunset. Small museums present pottery, inscriptions, and jewelry that trace centuries of craft and coastal exchange. Geography shapes the mood. Headlands step into sheltered coves where clear water laps at sun-warmed rock shelves. Island views, St. Ivan and St. Peter, frame horizons that feel wide yet intimate, perfect for golden hour walks. Days move easily from shore to story. Kayaks and SUPs circle the bays, while short boat trips reveal cliffs and nesting seabirds. Marked paths lead to lookouts above sand crescents, and gentle snorkeling spots show darting fish over pale rock. Culture keeps a cheerful calendar. The Apollonia Arts Festival fills late summer with concerts, exhibitions, and street performances in pocket squares. Pop-up ateliers introduce painters, textile artists, and woodworkers whose work reflects sun, salt, and grain. Food is coastal, simple, and fresh. Quayside kitchens ladle fishermen's soup rich with herbs and vegetables. Grills turn out Black Sea sprat and mackerel, while Territor, chilled yogurt with cucumber and dill, cools warm afternoons. Banitsa arrives in flaky spirals, and Shopska salad balances tomatoes, cucumbers, and white brine cheese. Everyday life blends tradition and enterprise. A few thousand year-round residents anchor fishing, boat repair, and family-run hospitality. Seasonal markets offer honey, rose petal preserves, and ceramics, connecting seaside tables to inland gardens. Sozopol's appeal is its quiet confidence. History is etched in timber grain and stone courses, not behind velvet ropes. Follow the curve of the peninsula, and the town reveals a rhythm set by wind, water, and careful hands. Veliko Tarnovo. A river bends through steep hills, and suddenly a stone crown appears above it. The fortress of Tsarevets. This is Veliko Tarnovo, medieval capital turned modern hillside city, where past and present face each other across the Yantra. Terraced streets cling to the slopes, balconies stacked like theater seats over a winding stage of bridges and cliffs. The old town spreads across 3 hills with lanes of cobble, timbered eaves, and courtyards strung with vines. History here is not distant. It is mapped on walls, gates, and watchtowers that once guarded a rising kingdom. The Asin dynasty set its power on these ridges, leaving ramparts and stonework that still command the skyline. At night, a sound and light spectacle washes the stronghold in color, turning battlements into living narrative. Small museums and house galleries frame coins, tools, and manuscripts that chart trade, craft, and civic life. Culture thrives in the streets. Samovoska Charshia, the old crafts bazaar, hums with wood carving, copperwork, weaving, and printmaking workshops. Artists open studios to visitors, and weekend fairs layer music with demonstrations of hand skills and design. Students from the local university keep cafes busy and conversations lively, adding a youthful rhythm to the hills. Food is hearty and regional, shaped by gardens and seasons. Bakeries turn out flaky banitsa at breakfast, while clay pots bubble with bean stews and vegetable gyuvetch. Shopska salad brings crisp tomatoes and brine cheese, and Territor's chilled yogurt cucumber cools warm afternoons. Market stalls stack honey, walnuts, and sun-sweet fruit from surrounding valleys that fold into the city's edge. Exploring is a sequence of viewpoints. Stone stairs climb to terraces above the river loops, where cameras find rooftops, arches, and switchback lanes. Short trails connect overlooks, while longer walks cross bridges to quieter neighborhoods and cliffside meadows. Day trips reach Arbanasi's traditional houses and panoramic ridges, expanding the city's story into the countryside. Livelihoods blend administration, education, tourism, and family-run hospitality for a population in the tens of thousands. Guest houses, craft studios, and small eateries keep ownership local, and festivals fill the calendar from spring to late fall. Veliko Tarnovo rewards an unhurried pace. Come for the hilltop fortress. Stay for the streets where history and daily life breathe the same mountain air. Troyan Monastery, area and Oreshak Crafts. Between the ridges of the Central Balkan, a historic complex of courtyards, arcades, and stone galleries rests beside the Cherny-Osam River. Shaded colonnades frame vine-draped yards, painted timber eaves, and cobbled passages that echo the Bulgarian National Revival style. The setting is calm and wooded, with mountain air drifting through pines and river willows in every season. A short walk away, Oreshak is the region's craft heartbeat. The National Exhibition of Arts and Crafts gathers master potters, wood carvers, weavers, and metalworkers under one campus. Live demonstrations turn raw clay and seasoned wood into bowls, icons-free wall panels, carved spoons, and tableware with the Troyan brown-green glaze. Museums and small halls focus on local heritage, travel routes, and household craft rather than liturgy. Panels explain pigments, natural dyes, kiln firing, and the motifs that repeat across ceramics and textiles. Seasonal fairs bring ensembles, costume shows, and maker stalls that keep the atmosphere lively without turning it commercial. Outdoors, trails follow the Chernio Same through beech and oak, with footbridges arching over clear water. Cyclists trace quiet lanes to meadows and viewpoints, while day hikes climb toward the Beklemeto Pass for grand ridge panoramas. In winter, small local ski tows and snowpaths add a crisp change of pace to the valley routine. Food is rustic, warming, and tied to the seasons. Clay pot stews, gyuvech, arrive bubbling, bean soups carry garden herbs, and fresh river trout grills over charcoal. Thick yogurt pairs with mountain honey and walnuts, while flaky banitsa and shopska salad anchor simple meals. Livelihoods blend craft, guest houses, beekeeping, orchards, and nature-based tourism across the valley. Market tables stack ceramics, carved boards, wool shawls, and jars of plum and forest berry preserves. Visitor services remain personal. Family inns, trail info points, and guides who know every bend in the river. This corner of Troyan balances architecture, handiwork, and mountain calm. Come for the craftsmanship and woodland paths, and leave with the textures, flavors, and quiet rhythms of the Central Balkan in mind. Shipka Memorial, Bulgaria. High on the Shipka Pass, a stone tower rises above the Balkan Mountains, marking a decisive chapter in Bulgaria's road to freedom. The setting is dramatic. Wind-swept ridges, looping roads, and a skyline that runs like a spine from horizon to horizon. Here the terrain mattered, and it still does, with views that place valleys, forests, and distant peaks at your feet. The monument honors the 1877 to 1878 battles that turned the war's tide. Volunteer brigades held these heights through snow, smoke, and relentless assaults, a story of endurance written into rock. Inside, exhibits present uniforms, flags, and battlefield relics that connect names and dates to the very ground outside. Approach is part of the experience. A stairway of hundreds of steps climbs through pines to the tower platform, each landing opening a wider panorama. Those preferring gentler access can follow the pass road to parking areas and shorter paths to the summit. Outdoors, the pass is a natural corridor. Marked trails follow the ridge to lookouts, where kestrels wheel overhead and cloud shadows race across the slopes. Cyclists and hikers trace sections of long-distance routes, and winter brings a brisk stillness to the forests. Culture and daily life surround the heights. Gabrovo to the north and Kazanlak to the south anchor crafts, markets, and small industries along the valleys. Workshops in the region keep wood carving, weaving, and metalwork alive, echoing the resilience celebrated at the tower. Food is hearty and mountain satisfying. Roadside taverns serve bean soup in clay pots, slow-cooked kavarma, and crisp shopska salad bright with garden produce. Yogurt with mountain honey and walnuts makes a simple, restorative finish after the climb. Tourism supports family guest houses, guiding, transport, and small museums across the surrounding towns. Seasonal festivals and historic reenactments add color to late summer weekends without overwhelming the ridgeline calm. As sunset settles, the stone glows warm and the wind softens, reminding you that this is both a viewpoint and a pledge kept in granite. Plovdiv. On the banks of the Maritsa River, Plovdiv spreads across green hills and sunlit terraces. Locals still call them Tepeta, 7 heights that shape viewpoints, breezes, and the city's easy stride. Archaeology meets everyday life here, with street cafes overlooking Roman stonework and leafy promenades. History runs in visible layers. An 8,000-year timeline surfaces in the Roman theater, the stadium beneath the main boulevard, and scattered forums. House museums explain guilds, trade routes, and printing presses that powered the Bulgarian national revival. In 2019, Plovdiv's European Capital of Culture Year amplified studios, stages, and public art across neighborhoods. The Old Town feels like a living gallery. Timbered mansions step uphill with painted ceilings, carved eaves, and courtyard gardens scented by vines. Cobbled lanes lead to small ateliers where woodcarvers, potters, and engravers keep hand skills current. Evenings drift into music recitals, poetry corners, and intimate gallery openings on stone piazzas. Kapana, the trap, is the creative quarter. Murals wrap facades, design shops share side streets with tiny roasteries, and makers test limited runs. Weekend markets stack textiles, leatherwork, and paper art, turning alleys into a friendly maze of finds. Food mirrors riverland abundance and mountain comfort. Bakeries spiral banitsa warm from the oven. Patatnik, a Rhodope potato specialty, crisps on griddles. Kyopolu's roasted eggplant and peppers spread onto crusty bread. Thick yogurt pairs with honey and walnuts. Summer tables add tomato-bright salads and herb-scented bean pots served in clay. Exploring is delightfully walkable. Climb Nebet Tepe for a sunset sweep over roofs, bridges, and far hills. Glass sections of the main street reveal the Roman stadium below, a city within a city. Tsar Simeon Garden's evening fountain show adds light, sound, and cool spray to a warm night. Everyday life blends study, craft, and enterprise for a city of 300,000 plus. Universities, creative industries, light manufacturing, and a growing tech scene anchor jobs year-round. Cycling paths and a rowing canal thread parks and riverside lawns, keeping outdoor time close at hand. Plovdiv's charm is balance, ancient stone and modern beat sharing the same hillside air. Sofia. At the foot of Vitosha Mountain, Sofia blends ancient street plans with a confident, modern beat. Boulevards, trams, and leafy parks connect neighborhoods where cafes spill onto pavements and murals brighten side streets. Over 1 million residents give the capital a pace that is energetic, yet surprisingly green. History shows up in plain sight. Roman Serdica surfaces beneath glass walkways and in excavated forums beside the Largo. Museums chart timelines from Thracian finds to 20th century design, keeping the city's layers easy to read. Architecture mixes eras with personality. Neoclassical facades frame civic squares, while Art Nouveau, interwar modernism, and bold socialist lines share the skyline. Public sculptures and fountains turn everyday corners into small stages for photos and street music. Nature sits within arm's reach. Borisova Gradina and South Park thread long alleys of shade, ponds, and lawns for families and runners. Trails on Vitosha start minutes from town, summer hiking to stone rivers, winter routes for snow walks and skiing. Markets and streets carry local color. Vitosha Boulevard pairs window shopping with street performers and quick espresso stops. Zhensky Pazar, women's market, stacks seasonal fruit, herbs, cheeses, honey, and handmade goods from across the country. Food is bright, simple, and satisfying. Banitsa arrives warm and flaky. Shopska salad balances tomatoes, cucumbers, and white brine cheese. Terator, chilled yogurt with cucumber and dill, cools a sunny afternoon, while clay pot stews simmer with garden vegetables. Culture fills the calendar. The National Palace of Culture hosts fairs, concerts, and film festivals that draw regional and international audiences. Independent theaters, galleries, and live music venues keep evenings lively across several districts. Work and study anchor the city year-round. Sofia's economy spans government, finance, startups, and a strong IT and outsourcing scene that attracts talent from abroad. Universities and research centers add a youthful current, feeding cafes, bookstores, and co-working spaces. Getting around is straightforward. A growing metro network, tram lines, and quick airport access make day trips and connections easy. Sofia's appeal is balance, urban energy, mountain air, and history underfoot, all in one compact capital. St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, Sofia. In the heart of Sofia, a sweep of golden domes rises above cobbled squares and tree-lined boulevards. Built in the early 20th century, St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral stands as one of Eastern Europe's largest architectural landmarks and a defining feature of the Bulgarian capital's skyline. Its silhouette catches first light and evening glow alike, reflecting a century of artistry and national pride. The structure blends Neo-Byzantine grandeur with intricate local detailing. Stone colonnades, marble stairways, and gilded crosses mark a design that unites craftsmanship and symbolism. Inside, soft light filters through stained glass onto walls painted with vivid frescoes, while marble floors echo under visitors' steps. The acoustics create a deep resonance that transforms even a whisper into music. History threads through every curve. Construction began in 1882 to commemorate those who fought for Bulgaria's liberation, and completion in 1912 gave the country a lasting architectural masterpiece. Today, it serves as both national monument and cultural centerpiece, open to the public for tours, concerts, and heritage programs that interpret its artistry without preaching. Exploration continues around the square. Nearby galleries and museums frame artifacts from the Thracian to modern eras, linking architecture to the nation's wider story. Cafes and bookstalls fill the surrounding streets, offering places to pause under the cathedral's sweeping view. Photography lovers find endless angles, domes that shift from gold to copper in changing light, mosaic details at doorways, and panoramic shots from neighboring rooftops. Guided tours explain materials, restoration work, and the craftsmanship behind its bronze doors and Italian marble inlays. For travelers, St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral is more than a stop. It's the visual heart of Sofia. Here, architecture, history, and urban life converge, reminding every visitor that beauty can carry both memory and meaning across generations. Vitosha Mountain, Sofia. Just beyond Sofia's skyline, Vitosha Mountain rises like a green guardian, its slopes visible from almost every corner of the city. Only a short drive from the center, it offers a complete escape. Pine forests, alpine meadows, tumbling streams, and sweeping city views that stretch all the way to the horizon. At 2,290 meters, Cherny Vrah, the Black Peak, crowns the massif, marking one of Bulgaria's oldest protected natural parks. Geology gives Vitosha its rugged charm. Glacial boulders, called the stone rivers, form ribbons of rock across slopes and valleys, creating dramatic textures against the greenery. Trails crisscross the mountain, from gentle woodland walks to challenging ridge climbs that reward hikers with views over Sofia's patchwork below. Cable cars and chairlifts carry visitors to mid-altitude zones, where cafes and lodges serve mountain tea, grilled kebabchi, and warm bean soup. Seasons paint the landscape in shifting tones. Spring brings carpets of wildflowers and clear waterfalls. Summer is perfect for hiking and cycling on shaded paths. Autumn burns gold and crimson through the forests, while winter transforms Vitosha into Sofia's own ski and snowboard playground. Cherny Vraz snowfields draw weekend skiers, and families sled on the lower meadows just minutes from home. Nature thrives close to the trails. Mossy woods shelter deer, foxes, and songbirds. Rare orchids bloom in damp hollows. Rangers guide eco-education walks that highlight biodiversity and conservation efforts in the Vitosha Nature Park. Culture and daily life blend at the foothills. Traditional villages like Dragolevci and Boyana offer guest houses, small eateries, and glimpses of rural calm beside the modern city. Locals hike before breakfast or picnic after work, proof of how easily Sofia breathes mountain air. Economy and tourism flow hand in hand. Outdoor sports, eco-lodges, and guided tours sustain local families, while weekend markets sell honey, herbs, and handmade wool goods. With paved access, trails for all ages, and clear signposts, Vitosha invites everyone to step into nature without leaving the city behind. For Sofia, the mountain is more than scenery, it's identity. Vitosha is where the capital exhales, where the skyline meets the sky, and where every trail feels like a return to balance. Rila Lakes, Bulgaria. High in the northwestern Rila Mountains, a chain of 7 glacial lakes lies like a string of mirrors reflecting sky and stone. Formed thousands of years ago by retreating ice, these crystalline waters rest between 2,100 and 2,500 meters above sea level, surrounded by meadows, ridges, and distant snowfields. Each lake has its own poetic name, inspired by shape and legend: the tear, the eye, the kidney, the twin, the trefoil, the fish, and the lower lake, each flowing gently into the next. The journey begins near Panachishti, where winding roads lead to the chairlift ascending into the national park. From the upper station, marked trails weave through alpine grasses and granite outcrops, with breathtaking panoramas in every direction. The hike to the eye, the deepest of the 7, opens a view so still and clear it seems to hold the clouds themselves. More adventurous trekkers climb higher to the ridge above the tier, where the entire chain unfolds below in a perfect arc of blue. Nature thrives in rare purity here. Eagles circle the thermals, marmots dart among boulders. Wildflowers, Edelweiss, gentian, and alpine poppy dot the slopes through summer. Strict conservation rules protect the delicate environment, and visitors are encouraged to stay on trails and carry all waste back down. Every season reshapes the landscape. In spring, melting snow feeds waterfalls that link the lakes in glittering cascades. Summer brings mild air and wildflower carpets. Autumn adds russet tones to the ridges. By winter, the lakes freeze solid, their surfaces turning the valley into a silver plateau beloved by photographers and skiers alike. Nearby, Sapareva Banya offers a warm contrast, a small spa town with natural hot springs, perfect for easing post-hike muscles. Mountain lodges and huts provide food and shelter, serving bean soup, grilled trout, and herbal tea brewed from local thyme. Tourism here supports local guides, eco-hostels, and craft markets that sell wool goods and mountain honey. For travelers, the 7 Rila Lakes are more than a scenic wonder. They're a symbol of Bulgaria's wild heart. Each step through the crisp mountain air connects you to timeless nature, where silence, reflection, and raw beauty speak louder than words. Blagoevgrad. Nestled in southwestern Bulgaria, Blagoevgrad rests between the Rila and Pirin Mountains, a green valley city crossed by the gentle Bystritsa River. Its mild climate, tree-lined boulevards, and lively university scene make it one of the country's most youthful and welcoming towns. Here, modern rhythm meets mountain calm, and every corner carries a sense of both history and progress. The city's roots trace back to the ancient Thracian settlement of Skaptapara, later expanded by the Romans along vital trade routes. Remnants of Roman baths and stone walls still hint at those beginnings. Through the Bulgarian national revival period, Blagoevgrad grew into a regional hub of crafts and education, a legacy that continues today in its cultural institutions. Two major universities, Southwest University Neofit-Rilski and the American University in Bulgaria, give the town an unmistakably student energy. Cafes buzz with conversations in several languages, and local theaters, book fairs, and open-air concerts fill the calendar. Art galleries, music venues, and film festivals make the city an unexpected cultural gem in the mountain foothills. The old Varosha quarter preserves cobbled lanes and revival-era houses with wooden balconies and bright shutters. Here, traditional workshops display wood carving, weaving, and pottery, while family taverns serve regional specialties. Local flavors include kapama, a slow-cooked meat and cabbage stew, and homemade yogurt paired with forest honey. At street markets, you'll find fresh fruit, cheese, and rose petal jams from nearby valleys. Nature begins just beyond the streets. Trails follow the Bystritsa River upstream into shady forests, and cyclists ride through nearby parks and reservoirs. Within an hour, visitors reach Bansko's alpine slopes or the mineral baths of Simitli and Sandansky, making Blagoevgrad a perfect base for outdoor adventures. Economically, the city thrives on education, light manufacturing, trade, and tourism. Local businesses, student startups, and cultural projects keep the economy dynamic and community-oriented. Clean, well-kept parks, murals, and pedestrian zones reflect a civic pride that blends tradition with modern design. By evening, the river lights shimmer off terraces, where music drifts from cafes and street performers gather small crowds. Blagoevgrad captures the best of Bulgaria's southwest: mountain air, youthful spirit, and a pace that feels balanced between learning, living, and simply enjoying the view. Bansko. Tucked at the foot of the Pirin Mountains, Bansko is Bulgaria's premier alpine resort, where rugged peaks meet cobbled charm. At 927 meters above sea level, this small town blends centuries-old traditions with world-class facilities, offering a rare harmony between history, culture, and adventure. Every season paints a different face of Bansko: snow-white winters for skiers, and flower-bright summers for hikers and festival lovers. The town's story begins deep in the past. Once a modest mountain settlement of herders and craftsmen, Bansko grew through trade, wood carving, and icon painting. Today, its stone-walled houses and wooden eaves preserve that national revival style, while narrow lanes lead to cozy taverns called mahanas, where folklore and hospitality flourish. Here, every corner hums with life, from artisan workshops to live folk music echoing through the evenings. Winter brings its greatest spectacle. With over 70 kilometers of ski runs, modern lifts, and reliable snow from December to April, Bansko rivals top European destinations. The Todorka and Shiligarnica slopes offer terrain for every skill level, while snowboarders test skills in the snow park. Ski schools, rentals, and mountain huts make the resort welcoming, even for first-timers. And après-ski cafes glow with firelight and laughter. Beyond the slopes, Pirin National Park, recognized by UNESCO, spreads in a panorama of glaciers, lakes, and ancient pines. Summer hikers follow trails past wildflower meadows, crystal streams, and mirror-clear lakes beneath marble peaks. Mountain bikers, paragliders, and horseback riders share paths that open to unforgettable views. Eco-tours and photography walks highlight the park's biodiversity, from brown bears to rare alpine plants. Culture flows alongside nature. Bansko hosts the annual International Jazz Festival each August, drawing musicians and audiences from around the world. Small museums celebrate local heroes, artists, and craftsmen, like the House of Neofit Rilski, a pioneer of Bulgarian education. Throughout the year, fairs and village celebrations keep folk dances, costumes, and songs alive. Food here warms body and soul. Try kapama, a slow-cooked blend of meat, rice, and sauerkraut, or chomlek, a tender veal stew simmered with wine and vegetables. Grilled trout from mountain streams and yogurt desserts with forest honey complete the alpine table. Local mehanas serve these dishes beside fireplaces, pairing every bite with storytelling and music. Tourism drives much of Bansko's economy, yet the town keeps its authenticity through family-run lodges, craft shops, and year-round community life. When snow melts, hiking boots replace skis, and the rhythm shifts from winter thrill to summer serenity. Bansko's secret is balance, where alpine adventure, deep heritage, and warm hospitality meet beneath Pirin's watchful peaks. Pirin Mountains. In Bulgaria's southwest, the Pirin Mountains rise in sharp relief, a realm of marble peaks, alpine lakes, and whispering pine forests that feel timeless and untamed. Stretching over 40 kilometers, the range forms the heart of Pirin National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site celebrated for its rare biodiversity and pristine wilderness. Here, rugged beauty meets serenity, and every trail leads to something extraordinary. Geography gives Pirin its drama. The range's highest point, Vidin Peak, soars to 2,914 meters, the second highest in Bulgaria after Musala. Marble ridges glint white in sunlight, cutting clean lines against the sky, while deep valleys cradle glacial lakes, over 180 of them, each reflecting a perfect slice of blue. Rivers fed by snowmelt carve clear paths through beech and fir forests, filling the air with the scent of resin and water. Hiking is the mountain's heartbeat. Marked trails suit every level, from easy walks between lakes to challenging summit routes. The trek from Vidin Hut to the peak is the most famous, rewarding climbers, with panoramic views of the entire Pirin Massif, and, on clear days, even Mount Olympus across the border. Along the way, hikers pass centuries-old Balkan pine trees, some over 1,300 years old, survivors of time and weather. Wildlife thrives in this protected ecosystem. Brown bears roam remote valleys, chamois leap across cliffs, and golden eagles soar high above. Rare plants, like the edelweiss and Pirin poppy, bloom in narrow niches where few footsteps reach. Rangers and eco-guides organize educational tours to keep this fragile balance safe while sharing its wonders with visitors. Summer turns Pirin into a paradise of color and sound. Pastures burst with wildflowers, streams murmur across meadows, and shepherds move flocks between high pastures. By contrast, winter cloaks the slopes in deep snow, transforming the mountains into Bulgaria's prime ski region, centered on Bansko's renowned resort. Yet even then, quiet trails and snowshoe paths promise solitude just minutes beyond the lifts. Culture and community intertwine with nature. Mountain huts and eco-lodges, often family-run, serve hearty meals. Bean soup, gyuvech, and homemade yogurt sweetened with honey from local hives. Villages around the foothills, like Dobrynishte and Bansko, preserve folk music, crafts, and festivals that celebrate mountain life. The Pirin Mountains are not merely a backdrop, they are Bulgaria's wild soul. Their peaks hold silence, their forests whisper old stories, and their lakes mirror the endless sky. For travelers seeking purity, challenge, and connection, Pirin is where nature still reigns in its truest form. Maritsa River, Bulgaria. Flowing from the snowy heights of the Rila Mountains, the Maritsa River winds gracefully across southern Bulgaria before continuing toward Greece and Turkey. At nearly 480 kilometers long, it is the country's longest river, shaping landscapes, cities, and livelihoods along its entire course. Its calm bends and fertile plains make it both a lifeline of agriculture and a ribbon of culture stretching through time. Geography defines its journey. Born near Mount Musala, Europe's highest peak on the Balkan Peninsula, the Maritsa gathers strength from alpine streams and spring-fed tributaries. It carves through valleys and fields, watering orchards, vineyards, and farmlands that sustain thousands of families. As it travels eastward, the river broadens, creating fertile deltas where sunflowers, corn, and rice flourish. History follows every meander. Since antiquity, Thracians, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans have used the Maritsa as a trade and transport corridor. Ruins, bridges, and old market towns line its banks, silent witnesses to caravans that once carried goods between the Aegean and the heart of Europe. The river has also seen moments of conflict and alliance, shaping Bulgaria's borders and identity through the centuries. Modern cities trace its flow. Plovdiv, Bulgaria's cultural capital, sits proudly on its banks, its ancient theater and bridges framing reflections on the water. Smaller towns like Dimitrovgrad and Svilengrad blend industry and agriculture, their communities tied closely to the river's rhythm. For locals, Maritsa is not just geography, it's heritage, music, and memory flowing through daily life. Ecology gives the river a quieter charm. Wetlands along its lower reaches form vital habitats for herons, storks, and migratory birds. Anglers seek carp and barbel in slow stretches, while nature lovers follow walking and cycling routes that trace meadows and willow groves. Conservation projects aim to protect the river's biodiversity, balancing irrigation needs with environmental care. Food and culture bloom beside it. Farmhouses serve yogurt, honey and grilled vegetables sourced from riverside gardens. In villages, festivals mark harvests with folk songs and dances that echo the Maritsa's flowing rhythm. The cuisine, simple, local, and seasonal, reflects the generosity of the plains it nourishes. Economy and daily life depend on the river's constancy. Irrigation canals feed fields, hydropower plants generate clean energy, and transport routes connect communities. Efforts to improve water quality and flood control show Bulgaria's modern partnership with its ancient waterway. The Maritsa River is more than a natural feature. It's Bulgaria's living artery. From mountain spring to international delta, it carries stories of endurance, abundance, and quiet beauty. Proof that even the most powerful forces of nature can flow gently through the heart of a nation. Buzludzha Monument, Bulgaria. On a lonely peak of the central Balkan Mountains, a colossal concrete form looms against the sky. Part spaceship, part time capsule. This is the Buzludzha Monument, one of Eastern Europe's most enigmatic structures, and a striking symbol of Bulgaria's 20th century history. Perched at 1,432 meters above sea level, it commands panoramic views that stretch across ridges, valleys, and the soft curve of the Danube Plain. Built between 1974 and 1981, the monument was designed by architect Georgy Stoilov and assembled by thousands of workers and artists. Its circular disc and soaring tower were intended to celebrate Bulgaria's modern industrial rise and collective spirit. Mosaics once covered the interior, over 500 square meters of colored glass depicting scientists, workers, and historical figures in vibrant detail. Time and weather, however, have turned those ideals into haunting beauty. Faded murals, rusted beams, and shafts of sunlight filtering through broken tiles. The approach is unforgettable. A winding mountain road climbs through forests and meadows before emerging onto a windswept plateau. Even from a distance, the UFO-like silhouette feels both futuristic and ancient, a relic of ambition suspended between earth and cloud. Photographers, historians, and urban explorers make pilgrimages here, drawn by the structure's eerie grandeur and cinematic presence. Conservation efforts are underway. Architectural foundations and cultural organizations are studying how to stabilize the building and preserve its mosaics without erasing the traces of time. Plans focus on transforming Buzludzha into a museum of memory and modern art, a space that invites reflection rather than nostalgia. For now, the monument remains closed to casual entry, but guided visits and drone footage reveal its scale and artistry. Nearby towns like Shipka and Kazanlak host exhibitions that contextualize the monument's creation within Bulgaria's social and industrial development. Local cafes and guest houses serve hearty mountain fare, bean soups, grilled trout, yogurt with honey, fuel for travelers who come to stand beneath its shadow. Buzludzha is more than a ruin. It's a dialogue between past and present. Its concrete curves hold stories of ambition, artistry, and the impermanence of power. On misty afternoons, when clouds drift through the open roof and the wind hums in the tower, the monument feels alive again, whispering reminders of how vision and decay often share the same horizon. Arda River, Bulgaria. Flowing gracefully through the heart of the Rhodope Mountains, the Arda River traces one of Bulgaria's most scenic and storied routes. Stretching over 290 kilometers before merging with the Maritsa, it shapes valleys, villages, and ecosystems that define the country's southern landscape. Its turquoise bends and towering cliffs make it both a natural wonder and a cultural thread linking mountain life to the plains beyond. The river's source lies high near Mount Ardin in the western Rhodopes, where clear springs gather into fast streams that carve through granite and forest. As it flows eastward, the Arda softens, meandering past meadows, vineyards, and quiet towns. Its three large reservoirs, Karjali, Studan Kladinets, and Ivilovgrad, create shimmering lakes that supply hydroelectric power and invite recreation. Each reservoir forms a micro-world of fishing coves, kayak routes, and lookout points ideal for photography. History flows beside the water. Ancient Thracians built sanctuaries on the cliffs, medieval fortresses, guarded crossings, and caravan routes. Remnants of stone bridges from Ottoman times still arch elegantly over narrow gorges, blending engineering with mountain grace. Archaeological sites and small museums along the valley reveal artifacts that trace life here for thousands of years. Nature thrives in abundance. The Arda Valley shelters golden eagles, otters, and rare vultures that nest on limestone crags. Forests of pine and oak host wildflowers and herbs used in traditional Rhodope remedies and teas. Eco-guides lead hikes and birdwatching tours, emphasizing conservation and the delicate balance between human use and wild habitat. Villages along the river keep authentic rhythm. Stone houses with red-tiled roofs perch on terraces above the water. Narrow lanes wind past gardens of figs and grapes. Local crafts include wool weaving, pottery, and wood carving, often sold directly from home workshops. Cultural festivals blend folk music, dance, and local cuisine, celebrations that echo the Arda's gentle flow. Food is rustic and deeply local. Expect grilled trout caught from the river, bean soup simmered with herbs, and patatnik, a Rhodope potato pie crisped in clay pans. Honey from forest hives and yogurt sweetened with rose or berry syrup complete the meal. Guests are welcomed with rakia made from regional fruit, though non-alcoholic herbal teas are just as traditional. Tourism supports family-run guest houses, eco-lodges, and small farms that sustain livelihoods year-round. Kayaking, hiking, and cycling routes are well marked, offering visitors a chance to explore at their own pace. At sunset, when the cliffs blush red and the river mirrors the fading light, the Arda feels timeless, an unbroken link between nature, history, and the enduring heart of the Rhodopes. From the snow-fed rivers of Rila to the golden shores of the Black Sea, Bulgaria reveals itself as a country where every mountain, valley, and village tells a story. We've wandered through fortresses carved in rock, ancient towns alive with color, and natural wonders shaped by time and wind. Each place, whether the mystical Arda River, the peaks of Pirin, or the tranquil shores of Pomorie, reflects a part of Bulgaria's living soul. It's a land that surprises not through grandeur alone, but through balance, between nature and culture, history and daily life, silence and song. For travelers who look beyond the usual, Bulgaria offers something rare: authenticity still intact. Every road bends toward discovery, and every sunset feels like a promise to return. If this journey stirred your imagination, don't let it end here. Like this video to help more travelers find Bulgaria's hidden beauty. Subscribe to join us on future adventures across the world. It's completely free, but means the world to our team. And in the comments, tell us which place in Bulgaria captivated you most, or where you'd love us to explore next. Until the next journey, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep the spirit of wonder alive. Because every destination, just like Bulgaria, holds a story waiting for you to uncover.